Hi, this is Matt with StateFlex here with a review for Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, also known as Monster X. This is a film that sort of acts as the Avengers for the Godzilla universe, in that this is the first film that unites the title character of Godzilla, the title character of Mothra, who had her own film and also shared a Godzilla versus, as well as Rodan, who had his own film. And this movie unites the three to take on Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, a cosmic monster from outer space that comes blob-style in a comet that lands on the Japanese mainland. And Godzilla starts the film as menace as he had been in the past, as is Rodan. And the two of them, these two menaces, are against each other in a similar vein to how Godzilla Raids Again works, where Godzilla and Anguirus are battling each other. This time it's Godzilla and Rodan, but we keep getting cut back to Mothra, or Infant Island, where the people are praying to Mothra to interject in this struggle. But once Ghidorah breaks free of the comet that he has come through on and starts wreaking havoc in the feature, Mothra takes it upon her larval self to go and break up the fight between Godzilla and Rodan and get them to unite with her to take on Ghidorah. And it's kind of essentially what the Avengers was. It feels like, I imagine if you had watched these as they came out, it felt like they had built towards a uniting of the three universes or whatever, made much easier by Mothra's appearance in the previous film. However, this film is nowhere near as good as the previous film. The monster fights are not quite as interesting and compelling. The battles where Godzilla is destroying lands as well as Rodan just don't really quite land quite as well as Godzilla vs. Mothra did. However, and the introduction of Godzilla and Rodan and Mothra. Mothra's introduction in this film is okay, but the introduction of Godzilla and Rodan is pretty lackluster. The monster entrance of Ghidorah when Ghidorah shows up, or Ghidorah, however you pronounce it, that was pretty intense and pretty cool. It might be one of the best introductions of a movie monster within this framework of features leading to this point. However, that is an hour into the 90-minute movie, and for a movie called Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, there is very little Ghidorah in it. And it's most of the picture is taken up with Godzilla versus Rodan. However, Godzilla doesn't seem to be battling Rodan as easily as he could, and Rodan, though he has captivating powers, you can't help but notice that it just looks like a rod puppet up there, and it doesn't make for necessarily compelling cinema, which is disappointing, especially off of the previous movie, which I thought had been a step upwards. However, this is the tone for most of the balance of the franchise. Godzilla has turned coat from being the menace to the United States, wow, that was very United Statesian of me. Pardon me, I'm tired. He is the defender of the world, and he will remain defender through most of the rest of his features. He's turned defender to attack this cosmic threat. Soon the threats won't even be cosmic anymore, and he'll still be the figure of hope for the people of Earth. And I'll address that as we come to them. This one is the in-between film where he starts as menace and pivots to defender when faced with a monster that might be able to overpower him. The defeat of Ghidorah seems a little easy and is a little lackluster in my opinion. I liked that this film had decent setup. It's 15 minutes before you get any kind of alien play or monster play at all. But I will say that the alien aspect of the feature, which will become much more apparent within the next feature, doesn't really play well for me within the Godzilla universe. In fact, the ones that do go more alien-y, I tend to like shy away from. It just doesn't work for my tastes. Um, but yeah, this isn't particularly a bad film. It's just not necessarily a compelling one, and it should be. This is, for want of a better verbiage, like they built towards this big cosmic showdown by including all these individual feature monsters and uniting them under one house just months after another movie. And you got to imagine that, like, back in the day, this and Mothra vs. Godzilla came out the same year. Coming off of that one, which is a much beloved film, and then launching into this one must have been like, oh, that's too bad. This one didn't really pan out. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. There's a human story. It was compelling for the first 15 minutes, but once it drags on to a half an hour and then 45 minutes and then an hour, you lose focus or any kind of interest in that human side of the story, and you're all you're left with is monsters, and the monster fight is not quite as good as it probably should be. But we are introduced to what will be Godzilla's greatest nemesis, or one of Godzilla's greatest nemesis, in Ghidorah. And I'm excited to talk to you about next week's installment with Invasion of Astro Monster. That's coming at you next week. What did you think of this? Is Ghidorah one of your favorite monsters? Certainly his entrance is, and he's probably one of the coolest looking of Godzilla's big bads. There's only two other ones that I think could give him a run for his money in terms of the cool looking factor. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, do all that. Thanks for watching. Peace.